Hey there, river dredgers, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Timberborn. Episode 10, Rivermaking. So this section of the power shaft is done for this gravity battery. Oh, yes. Let's fix that. There's some pathing issues, but we're working them out. We'll make that a higher priority and this a higher priority. And then I got rid of the stairs here. Make that a highest priority. So we're fixing some of the infrastructure that we had set up. But this gravity battery will get built. And then I just need this power shaft to run over to wherever mechanical power is being produced. So maybe here, pick it up. That seems most reasonable to me. And then to run a line over there. It's expensive, but like affordable in the scheme of things. The other thing is, let's go ahead and get the lumber mill going, and gear. No, I still have a lot of gears stockpiled, but we'll get the lumber mill going because I foresee using a whole lot of planks in this. I could also build it on platforms. Yeah, let's do that. Sure, why not? Build it up one. A free little boost of power. Do a high power shaft there. And done. The highest object on the map now, once it's built. So having a path like this will give the lumberjacks access to these trees, I think. Not that I'm lacking too much in timber. I've got like 400 wood left over. The beds that these beavers are in are not being delivered medicine, so I'm going to turn the healer back on. Just realized I had a sizable amount of beavers that are like injured. We also might be getting to low water levels for the Lido, so I'm going to have to check on that. Because we're almost 11 days into the drought. So if the math checks out, the Lido will be too low level by the end of today, maybe, for recreation. We'll have to fix that. So potentially, actually, in this spot, I'll just plan to have a T-shaft so that at some point I can try to see if a gravity battery will go in there. I just don't know if it will cooperate with the waterfall, but if it does, cool. That means I could even replace these floodgates, moving them back one, and then have a gravity battery there as well. Have tons of potentially stored power. If you wanted a high shaft here for that to be extra power as well, I would have to do something like this. Put the T-shaft here, put an angle there, and then put the high. And then these are going to have to be built first because they will lose pathing to it. Kind of committing to a gravity battery over the waterfall. But it's a proof of concept, and I don't have the answer because I've never tried it, so I'm sort of curious. So was I right about the Lido? No, yeah, it looks about half. It doesn't look... So 50% or greater is considered deep water, and then anything less is shallow water. So I'm guessing this Lido sometime today becomes shallow water, and then I'll have to lower the triple floodgate or the middle floodgate to supply it with a little bit more water. So once we make a little bit more progress on that, I'll start to work on the... connecting this power shaft over to the power network that we've got running. Currently it's not. And it will need to be. So the idea is to run power from here over to the area where we need it. So this is probably not going to be the most efficient way to path it, but oh well. So then the other thing is, because now I have power on the roof here, there's a few different things that we could do. One obvious one would be put a carousel up. Actually, carousels are bigger than that. Another obvious thing is to put an engine there. If we're working towards a num cruncher, it might make sense to have an engine. The trouble is, I think, that would terminate the power network. Because I don't think that power can be sent out of there. So there might be a more elegant solution. Because I think having another engine up there makes sense strategically, so that we can have two engines for a lot more power when we need it on demand. So maybe instead of that, we do an engine like this. Yep, this will work. So an engine like this, where this is, this becomes accessible through platforms. What are the closest path? Maybe like that. This is all gross. Like, I kind of hate how this is laid out, but it's all... I'll just do it. And then, the power output here can be hooked up this way. It's expensive, but, you know, it will really help to power up the colony. So then the power is here, and I just have to run that over here, which is really not that big of a deal. I can actually see the benefit of elevating the power, though, keeping it on platforms, so that I'm not blocking pathing. Because if I run it along the ground... Another thing is that, I could run along the river. I think, right? Yeah, well, the problem with running along the river is I do block the ability to have water wheels. So if I want water wheels, running along the river is a bad idea. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the original one. I think running along the river, if I had enough dynamite to excavate the space, would be better. Can I not just send power through the warehouse? You know, I think I could, yeah. Let's see if that works. I wish the game would more easily tell you what objects allow you to send power through and what don't. I don't have that memorized. I'm sure the wiki probably has it. Well, we'll see if that works, because it's cheaper. And if it doesn't work, then I can always fix it. Because if we don't see this section spinning, then the answer is no. Because I know certain buildings, like houses, will certain buildings will send power through it and some won't. I just don't have that memorized, sadly. I'm also going to pause this engine because this is not really my priority right now. Tamarin, thank you for the resub. So to answer that question sooner than later, let's go ahead and get the sections that will send power through built to see. Also, there's a more elegant way to build this too. Where we just have a high power shaft here, and then this connects over here like this. It's messy as hell. But it's good enough. We're about half of the research needed for the Num Cruncher. And I'm hoping that all of this added infrastructure will help towards that goal. I'm going to need a gather flag. Because the healer is out of medicine. Got quite a lot of injuries. Lido deck, are you too low? You're still not too low. Okay, clearly my calculations were incorrect. 15-day drought, and somehow this still has water. I don't know how, truth be told, that it isn't more evaporated. But I'll take it. Laura, thank you for the resub. Oh, it also reminds me, now that you're talking about this, is I don't need this infrastructure anymore. Because it's connected through the explosive network. Right, because these water wheels are connected to this, which is connected to everything else. This didn't quite get built. I'll make this the highest priority. So we'll have an answer as to whether it transfers through. But if it does, there's probably a way to clean this whole thing up as well. But I don't think I'm going to personally prioritize... Oh, we're out of gears. Personally prioritize that just because I'd like to get to other things. It's one of those, like, chasing down inefficiencies is like an endless path of iterative improvements that never, you're never finished. So if I continue to just tinker, I will do nothing but tinkering and get almost nothing done. Hence my reluctance. Oh, that's where all my gears went, to the gravity battery. Gravity batteries cost a ton of gears. We're going to have flowing water in about 0.4 days. And we have that high power shaft, but since the engine's not running because no work is being done, I don't have my answer yet. We actually have a decent amount of dynamite. Drought has ended. Nice. Let it flow. Okay, it's not working. As you can see, it's not spinning on the other side. This large industrial pile is not sending power through it. Answer obtained. So the original, yeah. So for now, I'm not even going to worry about the engine. I'm going to ignore the engine. We don't need one. And the plan for me is just to get power out to the grab batteries. So priority is build the gravity battery and channel out a river. Actually, might have enough explosives to channel out a 2-wide river, which would allow for the larger water wheels, which would be so much better. Because if I only had a 1-wide, I could do these compact water wheels. They're just not as good as the large ones. The large ones produce so much more power. And if we're trying to set up num crunchers, getting so much more power is so much more useful. Cheers. But almost all of the materials for the gravity battery has been delivered, and then most of the power network up here has been built. And in a minute here, I'm not going to raise... Oh, actually, this should be at 2.5. This should be at 0.5, and this should be at 0.5. But I'm not going to tinker with the floodgates. I'll let them... It will start flowing when it flows. And I'll keep this gatherer flag gathering, because there's a lot of mangrove fruits now that are ready for harvest. So I think initially my plan is to maybe have one little section for 2-wide for the water wheel, but then everything else will be 1-wide. And because I just like the aesthetics of waterfalls, I'll have as many waterfalls as possible. These waterfalls are lovely looking. So maybe have the river come out this way. And then... I'm not really sure. I mean, I think what the infrastructure that's already built here, I could ignore. Like, these paths don't matter. The natural paths that I, like, inherited. So I'll create my own pathing to be able to run a river that is more useful and aesthetically pleasing than one that is that follows the terrain that I've been given. Okay, water wheel's running, so engine goes off. I do have some unemployed beavers. I think our population boon came in. So let's cut down some trees. Press some canola. And that employs everyone. I might actually need to get more work done. Like more workplaces. Because, yeah, the growing vats finally paid off. I could even do a builder's hut, potentially. I don't have the science for it yet, but that would help build things quicker. I'm gonna let out a tiny bit of water here. just so that you can see. And I raised the gates already because I know it's going to flood and evaporate. You can see sort of the benefit of getting this river going is it will really irrigate up here quite nicely. So are all my gravity batteries built? So there's 18,000 potential horsepower hooked up to that thing, and it would be even greater if we managed to nuke here. I'll actually set that up as dynamite, and I have no idea if they're going to be able to path to it, but it would be really cool if they could. To increase the power potential of that gravity battery, because that gravity battery is like super meta in its current spot. But with that built, I'm going to turn off the gear workshop so that I can get more planks, because most of the construction project is reliant upon planks at the moment. I might even want to get a second plank workplace. So I've completely overwhelmed our builders with tasks. Well, they'll get around to it. So you can see how it will eventually connect as like an L shape here. Ugly, because it's not like buried cables, but functional. And here you can see the gravity battery is providing power to these gears, so they're spinning. I mean, they're not connected to anything, but you can see the potential for them to be. And the water I ran out of the floodgates have now finally evaporated. Alright, I am tired of waiting for my builders to, like, blow things up, so I'm just gonna crank that priority up a bit. So before every vertical drop for the waterfall, it will make sense to create floodgates so that I can retain water for irrigation purposes if I am growing back here. Meaning that, like, if I have a waterfall in this spot... In fact, yeah, I might want to move the waterfall back and change the path in hindsight. Oops, that's not what I meant to click. That way, everything can remain irrigated for at least 22 days in the case of droughts. So I'll put just a single floodgate here, which will be the first waterfall drop, and then that will drop to this river basin, which will then run the course over here. So we got to figure out how this is shaped. So eventually the plan is to have it be wide like that. And that will run out here, and then maybe do another drop at this in this area. Dropping down again for another waterfall down to the lowest possible level that will exit the map. I think what might be smart is to stick in some temporary inventors out of the way, because so let's have the inventors just be up here. It's kind of out of the way. That way I can nuke these ones, have the river flow down and out. Stop. Stop, stop, stop. Oh, we have a drop coming. Whoop! So we might see a death here. Maybe not, if I can... I paused it in time. So let's see if this beaver can walk away fast enough. Yep. Saved his life. The plan right now is not to have... The plan right now is above my head, and I'm not doing anything besides that plan. And then if we want to add water wheels here, you can vote on it. I work on the current priority that's up there, and not more. I don't plan ahead, because it's one of those slippery slopes where I end up doing I end up just locked into a ton of infrastructure projects if I let it balloon out to a larger goal. So I don't. I make a point not to. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. So we'll have the water level drop. Maybe here. Down to a lower level. Meaning that it makes sense to then have a bridge here to access the other side. It'd be cool if I was able to complete this before the drought, but I doubt that's possible. With this floodgate all the way up, though, I could let a little bit of water out here. I just need to make sure that it doesn't get flood levels, which it will happen really, really fast. So it's one of those just like, be very careful with the controls. Because, yeah, it floods very, very quick. Right, buddy? Yeah. Even just a one wide, it seems like it almost fully irrigates. There's still a little section of this this forest that isn't being irrigated, but most of the map I would say is being irrigated. I mean, apart from the southern section, which I haven't touched. It's pretty easy to see the benefit. All right, we're waiting on just planks. How's medicine? Medicine looks great. All very well supplied. And dandelions are still being picked. Awesome. So now we have a floodgate at the lower level. So what that means is I can let water flow out and fill this river a little bit. And eventually, once it has a way to leave the map, then I can set these all to like 0.5 and it will be self-regulating. Which is the eventual goal. Alright, so with this floodgate there. This will be the second waterfall, and that needs to go one level lower. Well, it doesn't need to, but that's how I'm designing it. So I will channel this out. These are now pathable, so yeah. I have a bunch of unemployed people, actually, or beavers. So let's get them employed. I do also have enough for the Num Cruncher, so I'll unlock that. But I don't have anywhere near the gears to build one just yet. So for now, I'm going to employ a bunch of these unemployed in these inventors, allowing me to unlock more stuff. Because these inventors are going to need to have to go bye-bye, because it's where my river is going to run. So the course that I want to build is it will just exit about here, which should irrigate in maybe a little lower, maybe as low as possible. Exit here, which should irrigate this area, I hope. I might have to do some course adjustments if that isn't the case. Where to start? If you watch the start of this series on YouTube, that will probably give you a pretty good idea of like how to start playing. This series, I covered kind of everything at the start of how to play, how to lay things out, etc. Yeah, there we go. So these inventors, because they're just far away from everything, are going to be the lowest priority possible. And that's just to stop unemployment. Also, I don't have any more places for people to sleep at the moment, so I'm going to pause the breeding pods until there's space for people. My goodness. As soon as I built new inventors, I run out of space. I'll employ some woodcutters up here, I guess. That'll keep them busy. Busy beavers. Alright, so that channel's being dug. And getting rid of that allows me to have the river course. You know, I'm actually I'll just choose to go further south already than the course that I was going to take, just to make sure that that tree area gets irrigated. Because I don't have terraforming bots yet, so it's going to be a lot easier to just dig the channel correctly the first time, rather than to have to like fill it in because I went cheap. Okay, I need to be raising the floodgates. I didn't really do that ahead of time, but I think we'll have enough water for... I mean, the 15-day drought barely even did not... It lowered the water level of the aquifer by 1, so I'm not too worried about whatever drought they throw at me, unless it's like a 60-day drought, then I'm pretty screwed. 15. All right, another 15, that's no problem. So, getting the engine up and running, and then all the more reason to try to get the gravity battery, because this gravity battery is going to be crucial in order to keep things running productively during a drought. The other thing that I could do is I do have a lot of beavers. I could just use beaver power and stick them on wheels. I don't want to, but like that's not a totally unreasonable thing to do given the amount of beavers that I have at the moment. Come on, builders, get these inventors built. So once these inventors are built, I can move the inventors out of here, freeing this area for riverbed. Unfortunately, we're not going to have a river running here for at least another 14 days, but the good news is I should have everything all sorted so that once we have flowing water again, we can fill this riverbed and have it be functional. So, what I was thinking is that this runs like here and out. And then if I did get wider at some point, I can do there and out. Getting rid of these inventors that are in the way. Actually, you know what? I'm going to nudge it over one so that I don't have to get rid of the inventors that are built there. Go like that. That way when I widen it, there's still space for these structures to remain where they are. So we haven't made a ton of progress on getting that grab battery up. Question for you guys. Should I unlock a builder post? So spend some of my research to get a building post to have more builders. Builder posts aren't too expensive. It's just 100 science. And I would be able to employ extra builders, because I think right now the bottleneck is just my builders are too busy. There's just too much going on right now that they can't get to stuff. So you guys can vote on whether I should be patient or I should just hire some more builders. Both these extra inventors built. I think what I'll do is I'm going to raise the priority of the ones that are slightly closer to the core of the colony, and then the ones back here are going to be the lowest priority. Just because the closer they are to food and water, the more productive they'll be. So these are like the backup research. Looks to me like you guys are in agreement that having a limited amount of builders is kind of a problem at the moment. So we'll build this as the highest priority, and then these is high. So thank you for voting. Hey, you know what? My normal polling now works. What to work on next? What improvements to be made? So, that's not where it's supposed to be. There we go. So, if you want me to work on aesthetics, I think a big boon would be to get the Laborer's Monument, which is not too much more science. If you want food, for me to be able to do food processing or hydroponics, you can vote on that. Production would be adding additional capacity for like planks and gears and the like. If you do for production, I would probably do gears to be able to ramp up and afford the Num Cruncher, because right now I don't think I have the necessary gears for Num Crunching, and it will be really unaffordable until I get more gear workshops. Power would be the other grab battery. Oh, and they actually got that. So here, I blew one up and I added another 2K to the grab battery. And let's just keep doing that. So this grab battery is even more effective the deeper it goes. And the builder hut needs planks, but it's going. Nice. So here you can see it's 18 now, and it will go up to 22. And we'll just keep channeling this out. In fact, I'll channel out the whole thing a little bit. Doesn't hurt to do. All the way down to water level. Oh, and the river is about to get blasted. Oh. So, finally, a floodgate here to be able to raise up to 0.5 to keep water from exiting the map. But that should irrigate everything. In the northeast corner, I should add. And we're getting close to having the yeah, because we're hiring a bunch of builders. We're getting close to having the power shafts all the way up to the gravity battery. So you guys, let's go with well-being. I'll be the tiebreaker in this instance. So I'm going to work on some well-being. Well, this is certainly not the most aesthetic way to do it, but this is how I'm going to handle it. Power shafts all the way over to connect both halves of my power grid. Actually, I will fix this part so it runs along the river like the rest of it, meaning that it will be usable space. Alright. That will connect both halves of the power grid together, allowing me to use the gravity battery finally. And that should allow the production facilities to have a lot more power for running. Which is, I think, what you guys want. And then I'll just add a path around so that we can traverse both halves of the channel. Looks pretty good. Thank you for tuning in to Timberborn, which originally streamed live on Twitch January 2nd. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, a link can be found in the description of this video or at Rhadamant.com. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow beavers.